Hi everyone. Happy New Year, my friends. Thanks for coming by. I'm here to do an all signs reading for the new year 2024, the year of Leo, hence all the glam. I'll explain in the astrology intro why I call it the year of Leo. I'm going to do a bit of an AstroTarology intro. I'm going to freestyle it. We'll just see where it takes us. I'll be using tarot and astrology to explain the numerics of the new year. It's just something I do at home for myself, and maybe you guys would find that interesting. I'll timestamp the all signs as usual below in the description box. Those I'm going to freestyle too. I've got various oracles on the table. We'll just see where we go. All right, you guys. Okay. Starting off, I want to go all the way back to 2022 because it kind of ties together with what I'm talking about. Of course, I compare all of these numbers to the major arcana because that's just what I do. But 2022 equals number 6, the Lovers. So for many of us, if you look back to that year in your life, you could have been going through kind of a heart chakra awakening. You could have met a person who came into your life that represented that energy for you. And really what those people do is mirror back to ourselves different sides of ourselves. Gemini energy, the twins. So oftentimes when you experience or encounter a lover's connection, and it's not always another person, no, but for this example, it is. If you encounter a person who represents that energy and awakens that in you, is generally to awaken yourself to fulfill a part of you. You can see here how the reason I chose this deck is because it's one of my favorite lovers cards. And it ties into what I'm talking about there. You can see Leo right there, the lion depicted, because it's all part of the way the tarot progresses in this kind of story. Taming that beast within there is the Empress. So, coming alive in the heart chakra, be that something that inspired you a great deal. And it could have been that during 2022, a lot of us were faced with a crossroads at the heart, like a decision. We could have just began to encounter those sides of ourselves. Gemini energy is very curious as well. It's Mercury, so always wanting to learn more. There could have been a lot of themes to do with communication happening as well. And that's natural given what the world was going through. A lot of people started communicating more, like on the phone and online. All right, so that was 2022, and that was the encountering of the heart chakra awakening. In comes Cancerian energy in 2023 with the Chariot. And the Chariot and Cancerian energy is what the Lovers kind of prompts. The emotional body gets kind of all stirred up and out of control. I call it the tsunami. I have a Cancerian sun myself, and I can relate. When that kind of passion ignites in the heart, generally speaking, it stirs up the emotions to that degree, and it's turbulent. There's a dark horse and a light horse depicted here, and I always say that describes the Cancerian emotional process very aptly. There's two sides, and you feel it all at the same time. And it's kind of about getting, like, what's good for me? What direction do I want to go in? I love it all, you know, like boundaryless emotions. The Chariot is driven by the Emperor. We have the Empress with the heart and the Emperor taking control of the results. Okay, yes, this is what we feel. You can't deny that. It's the tsunami, Cancerian energy, and it pushes your life into a certain direction where you're faced with a choice. Okay, so once we get to that point, then the Emperor comes in, and that's how it works in tandem with Cancerian energy. To take control, yes, we feel this, there's no way we can't, but now how do we incorporate this? How do we use it to direct in our own good? And that's when we get into next year, 2024, with Leo and the Strength card. But also with this Cancerian energy, you can see how there is a push and a pull this way and that way and this way and that way. So a lot of 2023 was about that kind of feel. You know what I mean? Like not exactly committing to what the heart now knows. It takes a long time to get into alignment with what you now realize especially when we're coming out of the Lovers card. And like I said, the Lovers isn't always another person. Often it is, yes, but it can be inspiration. It can be learning something new. My throat. Hold on a moment, guys. Sorry. But whatever it is, it prompts a life choice often. Okay? So next year, Leo, we get to the Strength card. And in this context, you can see that same lion from the Lovers card there being fully tamed by the Empress. In other words, yes, I know what the heart wants, but we have to also understand what's being cultivated and what can grow. We have to make sure that our passions are leading us into a place of integrity. Now, Leo energy in the Strength card is about the courage. Leo is courage to go within and face those difficult questions about ourselves and our own ego, for sure. Leo rules the ego. But also about where is the integrity coming from? And by integrity, I mean you can't just leave behind what you now know in your heart, like I said. But how do you incorporate it in a productive fashion? That's why it's the Empress. How can it be planted and grown and cultivated? And done with integrity, as I mentioned. So that's why she's taming the passion. And Leo also represents passion. So next year isn't going to be like a walk in the park, but it has a lot to do with taming that direction. Right? Like, yes, again, I understand the passion. I understand what the heart wants. But let's check out the integrity and make sure that we have the courage to do it the right way. This is the number 8 in the major arcana, and it rules over all of the 8s in the minor. So when you think about the 8 of Cups, which I always say is having the courage to walk away from something that isn't bad, it just isn't this, and it isn't this. This awakens you to the 10 of Cups. Hence comes the pilgrimage of trying to get the other 2 cups to fulfill that, right? And then we think about the 8 of Wands, all of that fiery, passionate energy coming alive. It's movement, it's progress, and it's action, and it's also passion. And then we have the 8 of Pentacles, and that's about this, having the courage, the strength, and the integrity to work hard at it, to build it. Leo is a very hard-working sign. It's very physical. So it's also about putting in the practical elements, even though Leo represents things like creativity and fun. And that can be represented in the 8 of Pentacles. Pentacles can be creative. Absolutely. To me, they can. They require imagination, adaptability, all kind of vision. But in any event, we have that with the 8 of Pentacles. And then we have the 8 of Swords, which requires the ultimate strength, because that is the go within card. That's where you check your own mindset. And that requires a lot of strength to wade through. So those represent various types of Leo. We have the passion with the 8 of Wands. We have the courage with the 8 of Cups. We have the strength with the 8 of Swords. What am I missing? Pentacles. Oh, and that's the strength as well. And the loyalty. So next year, those could all be very big themes. Some of the minor players, well, they're not minor, but early in the year, they play kind of a stage-setting role. I'll introduce them, but we'll get more into them later. And of course, they work in oppositions, because astrology does, and so does tarot. So in opposition to the Chariot, Cancer energy, we have the Devil, Capricorn energy. All through last year, Pluto, our collective shadow, our karma, what's hidden in the underworld, has been in Capricorn energy, here in the good tarot named Temptation. And that perfectly ties in what we're talking about with the Lovers card that sends you into the Chariot. And also with the Capricorn energy, it's number 15. 1 and 5 in the major arcana added together equals the Lover's card, number 6. So the Devil was a lot about our belief systems, traditions, lessons that we learned, could be family systems. And it's about those things inside of us and, of course, inside the world starting to change. And that stirs this up first in our hearts and then out here, right? And then we get Strength, Leo energy, and we have the Star with Aquarius. In late January, Pluto, which has been in Capricorn here for 15 years, is going to shift into Aquarius, where it will stay for 20 years. A much different kind of energy, much more about the greater vision and the collective. It's not so much about our beliefs and our structures as where do we go now? What is our new vision, our new hope? And that's why we have the courage of Leo that goes along with that as well. There's a full moon in Leo on February the 5th in Aquarius season, because again, moons work that way too. And I always say with these two, Aquarius reads what the energy is, reads the room, and Leo energy elevates it. So by choosing our own hearts, by having the courage to do it the right way, whatever that means, it brings along with it that energy of elevation. It's beautiful. Again, number 17 in the major is the Star, added together is number 8. It just works that way. And I'm going to do a different video with a little tarot exercise I like to do with my own numerology as it ties into tarot. And you can do that as the new year comes along. We end the year with Cancer and Capricorn. We had that full moon in Cancer. So there's a real culmination of this kind of energy happening right now. And we're headed towards making that new hope, that new wish, and that broader sense of who we are. We're one step closer to making that happen. But the Strength card and Leo energy is required. So some challenges, but lots of passion as well. I'm so sorry. I don't know what's happening with my voice. I'm literally losing it, you guys. We shall persevere and see what happens. That's some of the tarot astrology that's going on.